Having taught golf for just over 40 years, it's been a continual process of refinement and change and continued learning. And as I've developed Explanar over the last 12 to 15 years, I've had lots of interaction with my fellow colleagues of the PGA and keen students of the game. And they've asked me searching questions, and I've always been examining the workings behind Explanar in biomechanical terms. Now, when you teach people, words are so important, and they just encapsulate a concept. So my choice of vocabulary is very precise when I come to teach golf. Now, one of the words that I try to avoid, and I train my assistants not to use, is the word position about the golf swing. We might talk about ball position or the position of the body to dress. In the static mechanics as a dress, yes, we might use the word position, but I always try to avoid the word position when teaching the swing. Now, why is that? Well, position is static. There wasn't a position in the golf swing until somebody photographed a movement. I could teach you positions with the club, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, and you might never become really functional as a player. You could be out of position with flair and still be good. So I believe that the best way of teaching golf is to teach it as a movement. And if the movement is sound from good preparation, you'll be happy with the position as well. So, Explanar, it's teaching a movement, not a series of positions. Now, when you start teaching golf, you get your pupil to walk before they run. And conventional wisdom has been that you build the swing up from a quarter to a half to 3/4 and full. In other words, you have a quarter position, a half a position, 3/4 and full. I'm not against that, but it does tend to fragment the swing. In the medium to long term, we're trying to develop a swinging motion. The moment you break it down into bits, I think it suffers. So with Explanar, you get the benefit of the two. You can build the swing up incrementally, but still have a sense of movement. So here I'm taking my stance with the long power roller. I'm gripping at the bottom of the handle to simulate a 6-iron swing. I now check that Explanar is set through my upper sternum. So I'm now ready to go. So as a complete novice, I would get into the Explanar and show them that the shoulders, arms and roller, that letter Y shape, just work together. So there is the quarter swing. But it's not a quarter position, it's a quarter movement. Then I can build them up and get them up to half a swing. Okay, there's half the swing. Once they're proficient at that, we start to introduce a little bit of wrist hinge and we get to a 3/4 swing. And eventually, after a while, we get the parallel all the way onto the flat surface, the plane fin, and through. The moment you try to get it into a position, I think you've got a problem. Because if the golf swing's about a position, you've got 13 long clubs, that's 13 positions to learn. Then you've got half shots and 3/4 shots. So there's a myriad of positions you'd have to learn. But if you move properly and you set Explanar at the correct angle, you simulate all the different movements. You can see with the 3 clubs, driver, 6-iron and wedge. Half a driver swing looks like that. Half a 6-iron swing looks entirely different. You cannot say that at a certain point the club must be in this position with the toe in the air, because it's different from the angle of the spine. So that's why Explanar is so adaptable. You can set it for your physique, but don't worry about positions anymore, just learn a good movement from driver through to sand iron.